Hey, seniors, it's the counselors coming to talk with you today about tracking your college applications. We realize that a lot of you who are applying to a 2-year, 4-year community or technical college are dealing with college application season right now and wanted to give you some tips and strategies to be able to manage that application process so that you're feeling really in control of it, but also being present in your life, really doing well in your current classes, enjoying yourself in your extracurriculars as you manage the college application process. We want to give you a friendly reminder that it's about all of you finding your right fit. Whether it be 2-year, 4-year community or technical college, whether it be a gap year, military work, we want to help you find your fit. And so obviously for the purposes of today, we're going to talk about tracking college applications, again, 2-year, 4-year community or technical. We want each of you to find that right fit and remind you to help us change the language of getting into college to finding your right fit. And that's your academic, financial, and social emotional fit. So we wanted to start out today with a reminder to all of you about procedures for managing your applications. For most colleges, you're going to be able to use an online application. We want to remind you first and foremost to move your schools from the colleges I'm thinking about tab on Naviance to the colleges I'm applying to tab on Naviance if you've done that. So you simply go to the colleges tab on Naviance, click on the schools on the left-hand side, and push them over to the college applications that you're going to apply to. If you've never put anything on Naviance, you simply log in, go to the colleges tab, and enter your colleges there. It's going to give you a handy dandy kind of spreadsheet, if you will, of the colleges you're applying to, and it's going to have indicators or icons that tell you what kind of college application is necessary for that particular college. If it's a blank square, it's an online institution application where you go to the college's website and fill out the application. If it has a CA in the square, that means it's a common application. And a friendly reminder of that is that's a consortium of 700 colleges, and you can fill out one application for multiple schools. A reminder with the Common App, when you go to Naviance and click on colleges, there's going to be a blue screen that pops up. And that's where you're going to put your common application email in to match your Naviance account so that we can match those two together and send your application materials off electronically. The thing to remember is before you can do a matching from Common App to Naviance, you have to create an account on Common App, obviously, www.commonapp.org, and you have to put at least one college in. You also have to go to the Education tab and fill out the FERPA, which is you waiving or not waiving your right to see your letters of rec. Then you do the matching on Naviance, and you can do that now. Not all of you are using colleges that have a Common App. So again, that's that blank square. So that Common App screen that pops up, you can just put not needed. So talking a little bit about this needs us to remind you of the most important process of doing your college application materials. We will not send anything out without you coming in physically to fill out your pink sheet. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to come to the counseling office and fill out the top part of a pink sheet. The pink sheet is housed in the counseling office, and whenever you're ready for college materials to be sent on your behalf, you come into the counseling office, grab your folder for your counselor, take your pink sheet out, and write down what colleges you're applying to, the appropriate deadlines, and which college application you're using, whether it's Common App or an online application. This is for your insurance. We're not able to accept college requests that have come to us via email. We're not able to accept emails from you to send your materials. This is your insurance for us to be able to have a tracking system and paperwork, as well as using Naviance then to send your materials out so that we can track that for you. And if anyone ever loses it, we have a confirmation code to prove when you sent it. So that said, we know that you're managing this process right now, and we wanted to give you a few suggestions. One of the suggestions would be for you to use a college application spreadsheet. This application spreadsheet can be found on the counselor website, and you can use this to be able to track all of your colleges, their appropriate deadlines, the necessary materials, like if you need an essay, whether or not you need letters of rec, because all colleges don't require it, and you can add notes to yourself. There's an example again like this that'll be on the counseling website that can really help you manage this process and work backwards. We encourage each of you to set up a weekly time where you're spending a few hours, perhaps maybe on the weekend, to just do college apps. That way you can have balance in your life and not have this take over. We also encourage you to be mindful of of giving any letter of rec requirements, such as to a teacher or to your counselor, at least 3 weeks so that we can be in fidelity with your deadlines. And we also want to remind you that you have to send your official ACT or SAT scores to the colleges themselves. So if you've taken an ACT and want to send it to college, you have to go to actstudent.org. If it's an SAT, you have to go to collegeboard.org. If you've already sent them when you signed up for an ACT or SAT exam, you got four free score reports that might have been sent on your behalf. You don't have to send it again. So there are some application trackers that you can use to help you manage this process as well. For example, the University of Minnesota has an application tracker, and most colleges do. Most institutions have a tracker for you to know if their materials have all been received, and some even tell you your application decision. For example, the University of Minnesota has a priority deadline of November 1st. So you want to make sure you're getting your application materials in well before November 1st. If you need other materials, give 3 weeks for anyone to process letters of rec. And when you look at this tracker, you can find out if your materials have been received. You can also find out if you've been accepted. If you do a November 1 deadline, the University of Minnesota is assuring a response to you by the end of January, but some admissions decisions might happen before that. There's also a common application tracker called Common App On Track. You can get a mobile app for that on any kind of device or cell phone or whatever, and you can use the Common Application Tracker to track your Common App materials and make sure materials have been received. That's a really cool device to consider putting onto your mobile app. One thing to note that if you ever are looking at a tracker and you know you've sent your materials, we give some suggestions for finding out what happened. Number one, if it says you're missing teacher recommendations, check with the teacher. Perhaps they didn't send it yet. So, be on that to be able to see that everything has been sent. You can also stop in the counseling office. We use Naviance as our tracker, so we get a confirmation code. So that's your insurance, as I referenced before, that can assure that you've had materials sent. If you've sent your materials and we've shown that we've sent our materials, sometimes colleges haven't downloaded it yet and transferred it into your folder. So that's very common. There's oftentimes a little bit of gap of time where they say they don't have the materials, but they just haven't downloaded it from the electronic vehicles. So what we encourage you to do is call the college directly to make sure that they have all your materials so you can feel assured and affirmed that they have everything for you. While you're looking at this, we also want to encourage you to be mindful of how to make a financial fit for your college. We recommend that you and your family run net price calculators on each of your colleges so you can find out what free money, scholarships and grants, or institutional money they might give you to give you a real flavor if that's a good fit for you. In addition, most of the money that students receive is from the institution itself, so we encourage you to go directly to the college's website to see if there's additional scholarships that you need to fill out. On top of that, we use Naviance and update that with a robust scholarship options for you. What you do is you go to Colleges tab, scroll down to the scholarship list, and you can make that a part-time job and look for scholarships to apply for. You can even do a drop-down that says local, so it's a smaller pool of candidates. We encourage you to do that every now and again, and if you get money, it's the best part-time job you'll ever have. There's also a national search for scholarships there, so that's something that you can use to be able to offset the out-of-pocket expenses. Finally, there's a local scholarship application that we're going to launch in February for you to fill out one application and be eligible for Edina scholarships. So that's something we're going to talk to you about, but just be mindful that we will talk to you about that right before the February launch. Resources to help you with the process. The counselor website has a class of 2018 file folder with all kinds of resources. Advisory, we're going to keep talking to you about this process. Go to the college rep visits. We have hundreds of them coming to see you because you're amazing students in the College and Career Center. It also shows the college demonstrated interest. They may also be the person reviewing your application from Edina. So please do consider seeing the college reps that come to our school. It shows demonstrated interest, that you're genuinely interested in that school. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. And the front page of Naviance, we're going to have a ton of resources for you each month as well. So we're really excited to work with you. Wanted to give you some tips as you're kind of getting into the heat and delving into the college application season. We're here to support you, everyone. Have a great day. And thank you so much for being the leaders of our school. We're really, 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 really happy. Take care and have a great day.